We're going to be using the remote in order to clear this area out. Pumpkin towers behind me. If you don't have this remote, the way that you want to take down your pumpkin towers is you want to create a pumpkin sleeve. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of fabric and you're going to tie it in just like that. It's going to help you secure some of the weight in place when you lift up your obelisk. And so that's how you're going to take down your pumpkin towers, okay? But since we're going to be using the remote, we don't have to worry about using the pumpkin sleeve. But I just wanted to let you know how to do it just in case you're using the old-fashioned way of taking things down versus using the remote. A blank slate, just what I was looking for. This area here, we're going to transform it into a transitional winter look for this time of the year. And I'm very excited because although we've moved out some obelisks, we're coming right back in with some more. Now, we have our pansies here, and what we're going to do, because these pansies are winter survivors, brand name is the Winter Survivors, and they can withstand some pretty frigid temperatures. So we're going to come in and we are going to dress this area up, and we are going to be using the pansies that we just used. So although we're not using the cabbages and we're not using the pumpkins, we're going to be using the pansies. Now, some of these containers, I did have to pull out more soil. So let's start with this one and I'll show you which way I'm going with this area. A little bit more. All right, now I have some more pansies, the same variety as these. Let me go grab them. So we have our pansies here, so we're going to come in and pop these in. To get the tag out of there. Okay, so now we have our pansies here. So we're going to come in with our obelisk here and make a statement. Just like that. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's just get all of these planted up, and then we'll talk about the look as soon as we're done. In order to complete the containers that we're doing, we need to grab these wreaths right here. Now, recently we went on a trip to Hobby Lobby and we grabbed some supplies, and these were the supplies that we were going to get. Now, today's video is going to be fully packed full of just different things, but let's head back outside. I got a surprise in this bag that I want you all to see, but let's head back outside because I'm trying to beat the sun. So I got my clippers, and we'll grab these right here. We're going to take this wreath right here, And we're going to come in around just like this. So we'll put this one down here in the front. And then we'll add some more moss. Now you can see like a finished look where you can see where the moss is. Doesn't that look good? You look at this container right here, you can see where we have like some space and some gap. So I've already started incorporating like different types of moss, but I want to come in around that base and fill that up a bit. So I have some Spanish moss, and what we'll do, we'll go in and we will fill in around the base of the containers, and that way it'll give us more of a finished look. So in case you got that nosy person, I'm telling you, there is always somebody who's going to try to come and plant check you, because we're in November, so we're not supposed to have like living plants outside that look that good. Now granted, you do have where they are a little bit ratted and tatted in some places, but most people have already pulled their annuals around this time. People that I know anyways. All the moms, everything are already pulled in my neighborhood. What we'll do here is we will take a little bit of this English moss. And we'll just stuff it in the background. And we'll just kind of just tuck it. Just tuck it in a little bit. Technically, and let me show you how this will look. We could take out the original moss, because it is a clash in color. With the moss, sometimes it just all depends on where you're buying it from. Same thing here, and see how it looks. The position of the sun is not going to really allow us to see the containers and for the color to really come through the way that it needs to come through. So we're going to move on to our next project. I have found out a new way to force amaryllis blooms faster, quicker and faster, and you're going to be getting flowers a lot sooner than what you expected. So let me show you guys without messing up what I got going on in this bag. Look at this beauty right here, you guys. Look at this beauty. Woo! Can you say your girl got her first amaryllis blooms already of the season? Yes, honey. And I did it quicker than last year. But before we get into this, okay, so let me do this. We need to run and pick up the rest of the amaryllis bulbs, because we have some amaryllis bulbs that's budded up, and I can't wait to get them potted up. So we're going to work on some amaryllis containers, because you guys, it's time to start those indoor looks. It's time to just really bring it indoors, so that way when that service man come over to fix that leak up underneath the sink, and he looking because he wondering why his wife don't got no amaryllis blooms yet, let's go ahead and grab them. And matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and take y'all behind the scenes and show you a little bit of my operation, the way that I'm forcing, the way that I'm potting them up this season. Come on, you guys, let's go grab them. Whew. These are the amaryllis that we're going to be using for this arrangement right here. Can you guys see these? So we're going to grab this one, and that one right there in the terracotta pot. But I do have more amaryllis growing on in different stages. You can see this one here I have attached to the wire. And what's going to happen is going to continue to pull my amaryllis bulb over that way because I need it in a different direction for an arrangement that I'm going to be potting up. So can you see this one right here? Can you guys see that? So we have them in all different various stages so we can stagger our blooms here. Now we planted up these right here in a previous video over on the channel. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab these. I don't need this one right here, but I do need these. And let me take this one out the terracotta pot. Can you see that? Can you see the buds on there? So you can obviously see the bud on this one, but can you see the buds on this one right here? And you can see the bud on this one. So all of these are in bud. So these are pretty much the stage that I like to plant them up, unless there is a scenario where I need them to be more like this than like this right here. Then I will go ahead and let them just bloom up. So for today, we're going to use our amaryllis bulbs in a stage like this, and then in a stage like this. And I'll show you some that are way more further along than these, and I'll show you how we got it that way. So let's take these out. So first one, see if I can grab two at a time. All right, get that out of there just like that. We do need this one. We'll leave the tray here. Have that wired in, so in order to take this apart, we're going to have to unwiggle this tray. So we got it out from the bottom. So now what we can do is just go ahead and pull this up. And I do reuse my pot. So you see, because I use a ton of amaryllis bulbs throughout the season, I try to find ways to save space. So what I do is, these are just in a 4-pack right here. So we'll grab this whole entire pack. Here's our amaryllis that's budded up right now. And if you can't see the full bud, you can see where the start of the bud is starting to peek out amongst that bulb. Now, I did videos before in the past where I show you guys how I use the same consistent bulbs from year to year. Now, I did receive quite a few bulbs for my birthday, and here go 3 right here. We also went shopping together and we picked up some bulbs, so I'm going to show you guys how to take your bulbs from just a regular amaryllis bulb, no type of greenery picking through, and then how you can go ahead and get flowers, you guys, so quick and easy, it will shock you. So I've been working on this process for about maybe 2 to 3 years, trying to get it perfect. And this year I tweaked what I was doing a little bit, and you guys, I have blooms now. But look at these pots, aren't they gorgeous? Let's put this up so we'll have some room to work here. Okay, so now we can flop this one right here. We might have to pop this one. Inside of here, and then we'll put this beauty right here. Let me get out of this coat, honey. This jacket, it's warm in here. Amaryllis bulbs right here are from my own stash. So let me show you what we're working with. All right, so we have another amaryllis bulb ready to be potted up a lot quicker. We have another here that's already starting to push blooms. And then I have one here that is right there. It's right there at the tip, but not quite there. So let me show you how I got this process. Okay, now remember this paper bag. This paper bag is going to come back into play. It's going to be important, okay? So let's set it off to the side for right now. So what I have is some glasses here. So what you're going to do is you are going to first start off by hydrating your bulb. Now, what I mean by that, I have a bulb right here. I have another bulb here, but we're not going to use this one. I'm going to show you why you're not going to use this one. This one right here is not viable. More than likely, if we were to break this bulb open, you're going to see nothing but a whole bunch of babies in there, because you see how when I press on this bulb, you can see how it's not taut, it's not tight. You can just poke at it. Okay, so now this bulb right here, you can't press on it like that. We don't have any bumps and bruises. We got some nice roots. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't go in and click my roots off. Now this one right here is a bulb that I bought, okay? So what you do is you start off with your glass. Now when you're picking your glass, you want to try to get a glass to where when you put it in, it's not going to fall through. It's tight. So this right here is a good example, okay? When you can turn it upside down with your bulb inside of there, you know you have the perfect size. Now this one right here, even though the lip of it is tight, it's not a good one, because we can actually set this down in there. We don't want that. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off by adding some water. So let's go ahead and fill this up with some water here. So now we have our water. But the only thing that you want to do is you want to get your roots down in here, just like this. And if you feel like the bulb just might get wet, take it out, pour a little bit of the water off. Okay, so from right here, this is exactly what we need. So we're hydrating those roots. Set it off to the side. Take about 12 to 24 hours. The more you hydrate the bulb, the better it's going to perform for the next step. So now what you're going to do after you hydrate your bulb, take it out of the water. Let it dry out in an open surface, good ventilation. You can even put it on a cookie rack. That's what I like to use. I'll show you guys my setup a little bit later with that. But I like to let it where it's air all throughout, because now what we're doing is we're going to dry those roots off, and this is why. Because we're going back in with our good friend, the paper bag. Now you take your Amaryllis bulbs and you put them back inside of the bag. But this is why we're using the bag now. Because you're going to set your Amaryllis bulb outside in the sunniest part of your yard. The sunlight is going to start to work on that bulb, and it's going to force it up. From there, you go out, you check on it. Keep checking on it for a little while. I actually went a few days without checking on these. Last time I looked, they were like this. Came back a few more days, they were like this. So I said, okay, I really want these bulbs to really just give. You know, I was really wanting them to give, but what happened was I went out of town and came back, and this is what I had here. Now, you guys, when I tell you I'm uber excited, because we are getting ready to plant up a beautiful arrangement with these bulbs. Now, all of these bulbs are, I'm thinking that these bulbs may be the same type of blooms as this one right here, because I got these for my birthday. These were out of my own stock. So they're all on the pink side. So what we're going to do, we're going to mix them around just in case they are not the same bulb. So we're going to come in, we're going to do 3, let's do 4, let's do 3 and 3 in each container. Now we're going to use, so let's take the one that's in the terracotta pot, We're going to set that off to the side, but where we're planting this at, this still will go there so it'll look nice and everything. Then we're going to take this one, we're going to use this one as well. And it's a good thing because with your amaryllis bulbs, what I like to do is I like to plant them up where I have either all of them in bloom or some of them in bloom, or because that way you stagger your blooms. Because I'm telling you, one amaryllis bulb by itself is an absolute show. Is an absolute show. So what we're going to do, these containers over here, they're going to be changing this out. We're switching this room over to its winter look. These begonias have been in these containers since September. Now it's time to pull these and we're going to transition this into its next look. Now, when I know that I am repotting or getting ready to repot, what I like to do is I like to go in and I start making sure I let the plants dry out, because what I like to do when I pull my plants, I like them to come out in one ball. Now, we may or may not be successful with this, but we're going to try. We're going to go in and we're going to dig these out. All right, there we go. And I totally need gloves on. You know what? What we're going to do is we're going to just pot everything up. I used all of the bulbs that I brought out here except for 2 in the 4-pack, and then I also have the one that was in the terracotta pot, this one right here. And I'm very excited about how everything is turning out. Now, can you kind of see the theme and the flow, how I'm doing my transitional garden right now? I'm excited about it. I love the look of everything. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Now, I need to know, do you have some amaryllis bulbs that are in bloom right now? Drop down in the comment box and let me know, and we'll continue our conversation down below.